The 1970s did more than transform the appearance of beauty. It redefined what beauty truly meant. Below is a portrait of the women who shaped an entire era through their talent, charisma, and timeless allure. 1. Julie Kavner, the beauty of authenticity. In an entertainment industry often obsessed with rigid standards of physical perfection, Julie Kavner stands as a radiant testament to the power of authenticity. She was never cast simply for having striking features or a glamorous, starlet-like appearance. Instead, Kavner's appeal lies in her warm, expressive face and an astonishingly rich emotional range. It was precisely this relatable, unpolished beauty that allowed her to win over audiences completely in her role as Brenda Morgenstern in the classic television series Rhoda, 1974. Brenda was far from perfect, yet through Kavner's performance, the character became vivid, endearing, and so genuine that viewers could easily see reflections of themselves in her. The defining turning point that elevated her into the realm of legends came when she lent her distinctive raspy voice to bring Marge Simpson to life, the iconic matriarch of the globally beloved animated series The Simpsons. Even without appearing on screen, Julie Kavner managed to convey the full depth of the character's soul, her patience, resilience, and boundless love, purely through subtle vocal nuance. As of 2026, at the age of 75, Julie Kavner has chosen a life far removed from the noise of Hollywood. She is widely known as one of the most private figures in the entertainment world, consistently declining interviews and avoiding the glare of paparazzi. For her, privacy is not merely a personal preference, but an essential condition for preserving the clarity of an artist's spirit, allowing her to continue her work free from the pressures of fame. It is a quiet life, yet the legacy she leaves behind remains vibrant, enduring, and full of life. 2. Carol Burnett, the Queen of Comedy. Carol Burnett is not merely an actress. She is a revolution on the small screen. In an era when Hollywood still clung to the rigid belief that a beautiful woman could not be funny, and vice versa, Carol emerged and shattered those limitations entirely. With The Carol Burnett Show, she built an entertainment empire that spanned 11 seasons, earned 25 prestigious Emmy Awards, and became an irreplaceable variety program. Her intelligence, quick improvisation, and deeply relatable, down-to-earth charm laid a solid foundation that opened doors for generations of female comedians to confidently shine through their own unique voices. Yet behind the laughter she brought to millions was a heart that had endured profound personal loss. The greatest tragedy of her life came in 2002, when her beloved daughter, Carrie Hamilton, passed away at the age of 38 due to complications from lung cancer. The pain of a parent outliving a child left a deep and lasting wound. But rather than being consumed by grief, Carol chose to confront it with resilience and compassion. She transformed her sorrow into strength, using her experience to spread messages of hope and to continue contributing to the arts, offering comfort to others who shared similar pain. As of 2026, at the age of 92, Carol Burnett stands as an enduring icon, a gold standard of the perfect fusion between intellectual beauty and timeless grace. Whenever she appears, audiences see not only a legend of laughter, but a woman who has weathered life's fiercest storms with poise and serenity. She is living proof that while time may fade physical beauty, true kindness and genuine talent only grow brighter with the passing years. 3. Jessica Harper, a cult icon of popular culture. If artistic horror cinema has a face that embodies both allure and eerie mystique, it is undoubtedly Jessica Harper. Rising to prominence through Suspiria, the masterpiece by director Dario Argento, Jessica redefined what it means to be a muse within the realm of fear. With her porcelain-pale complexion, slender figure, and especially her large, hauntingly expressive eyes, she required very little dialogue to convey overwhelming terror. Her gaze functioned like a lens capturing the unknown, transforming her into an irreplaceable figure, a true cult icon revered by generations of horror enthusiasts. Beyond the silver screen, Jessica Harper's talents extend remarkably far. She possesses a powerful singing voice and a distinctive artistic sensibility, allowing her to thrive in experimental and unconventional projects. Rather than pursuing the glittering path of mainstream Hollywood blockbusters, she deliberately chose a more introspective and personal artistic direction. This decision preserved the integrity of her work, enabling her name to retain a timeless appeal, untouched by fleeting trends. As of 2026, at the age of 76, the once enigmatic Susie Bannion now embraces a life of quiet elegance and creative fulfillment. No longer confronting supernatural forces on screen, she devotes herself to writing children's books, channeling her rich imagination into nurturing the minds of future generations. From time to time, she reappears in special artistic projects or retrospective film events, where she is welcomed with the warmest applause. Jessica Harper stands as living proof that while an artist may age in years, the essence of their craft and the cultural impact of their most iconic works remains eternally vivid. 4. Beverly D'Angelo, the essence of rock and roll beauty. Beverly D'Angelo arrived in Hollywood like a refreshing gust of wind, bringing with her a beauty that defied convention, a striking fusion of sharp Italian heritage and the free-spirited aura of a true rock and roll star. Before conquering the screen, she was a singer, and it was precisely that artistic edge that shaped a persona both bold and unapologetically individualistic. Mainstream audiences remember her most vividly as Ellen Griswold in the iconic vacation comedy film series. Blending mature elegance with impeccable comedic timing, she transformed Ellen into the quintessential wife and mother, warm, witty, and irresistibly human, cementing her place in the cinematic memory of millions of American families. Her personal life has been just as vivid and artistically textured as her on-screen roles. One of its most memorable chapters was her long and deeply meaningful relationship with legendary actor Al Pacino. At the age of 49, an age many might consider late, she embraced motherhood with courage, welcoming twins Anton and Olivia in 2001. Though their relationship did not culminate in marriage, the two maintained a profound bond and co-parented their children, reflecting Beverly's modern outlook and unwavering strength of character. As of 2026, at 74, Beverly D'Angelo shows no intention of slowing down. She deliberately turns away from familiar paths, instead immersing herself in challenging independent film projects where she can explore deeper and more intricate layers of human psychology. No longer driven by the glitter of blockbuster fame, she chooses a life defined by freedom, dignity, and an enduring passion for her craft. Beverly remains as radiant as ever, true to her distinctive style, reminding us that real beauty does not lie in eternal youth, but in a vibrant spirit that refuses to yield to time. 5. Stefanie Powers, beauty of intellect and a mission of preservation. Stefanie Powers is not merely a graceful face from the golden age of American television. She is the embodiment of refinement and sharp intellect. Her name became a global phenomenon through her role as Jennifer Hart in the hit detective series Heart to Heart. With her natural elegance and captivating screen presence, she crafted the image of a modern woman, intelligent, confident, and irresistibly charming. Yet behind the polished glamour of Hollywood, Stefanie's real life was guided by a profound and fateful connection to legendary actor William Holden. Her deep relationship with William Holden was more than a romantic bond. It was a meeting of shared ideals and values. After Holden's sudden passing in 1981, Stefanie transformed her grief into extraordinary strength, dedicating herself to fulfilling his unfinished dream. She poured her heart into establishing the William Holden Wildlife Foundation in Kenya. This was not merely a charitable endeavor, but a solemn promise, a lifelong commitment to protecting endangered species and preserving the fragile ecosystems of Africa, a land both of them had come to cherish as a second home. As of 2026, at the age of 83, Stefanie Powers continues to radiate a sense of grace and vitality. Rather than retreating into a life of comfort in Los Angeles, She remains actively involved, traveling between the United States and Kenya to personally oversee conservation efforts. For her, the passage of time has not dimmed the determination in her eyes, nor the passion within her heart. Stephanie stands as a powerful testament to the idea that true beauty reaches its fullest expression when it is anchored to a higher purpose, transforming the legacy of a loved one into a guiding light for the future of our planet. 6. Carol Baker, the survivor of every system. Carol Baker stands as a living symbol of resilience and extraordinary adaptability in an industry long known for its harsh treatment of women. In the 1950s, she rose meteorically to global fame, becoming a new generation bombshell with her unforgettable performance in Baby Doll. Her beauty, innocent yet provocatively daring, challenged the rigid censorship standards of the time, propelling her to the height of stardom and earning her an Academy Award nomination. Yet, Hollywood's spotlight is notoriously fleeting. When contractual disputes erupted and public tastes began to shift, Carol suddenly found herself abandoned by the very studio system that had once elevated her, blacklisted and cast aside. Refusing to surrender to adversity, Carol Baker embarked on a bold artistic reinvention. In the 1970s, she left the United States for Italy, where she shed the image of an A-list star and immersed herself in giallo thrillers and exploitation films as a means of survival. Though these roles were often darker and more intense, she never relinquished the discipline and depth of a true actress. This period forged her into a figure of remarkable inner strength, a true survivor who endured and overcame the most unforgiving cycles of the film industry. As of 2026, at the age of 94, Carol Baker enjoys a quiet life in New York. She is not only an actress, but also one of the last living witnesses to Hollywood's golden era. Every line on her face tells a story of defiance, dignity, and an unyielding will to live. Carol Baker remains poised and proud, a powerful reminder that while fame may rise and fall, the strength to endure and preserve one's identity within a volatile system is the most enduring legacy of all. 7. Tuesday Weld, a fragile rose on the edge of breaking. If there is a life that encapsulates the brutal machinery of Hollywood's entertainment industry, it is the life of Tuesday Weld. She never truly had a childhood. Instead, her early years were consumed by photo shoots and modeling assignments from the age of 3, all to support her family financially. The crushing weight of expectation and the burden of being turned into a money-making machine far too soon pushed young Tuesday into severe psychological trauma. At just 12 years old, while other children were still attending school, she attempted to take her own life, seeking escape from a reality too overwhelming to bear. That fragility was never an act. It was deeply real, a raw, open wound that Hollywood would later recognize and shape into an unforgettable, haunting screen persona. On screen, Tuesday Weld was often cast in roles that mirrored her inner world. Women of striking beauty who teetered on the brink of emotional collapse. Audiences found themselves unable to look away, drawn to the painful authenticity she brought to each performance, a quiet sorrow lingering behind her expressive, searching eyes. Though her natural talent earned her prestigious nominations and critical acclaim, the glow of success never seemed capable of healing the fractures left by her early years. She was the most radiant rose, yet also the most fragile, forever vulnerable to the harsh winds of life. As of 2026, at the age of 82, Tuesday Weld has chosen a life of complete silence and seclusion. She lives quietly in the Hollywood Hills, fully withdrawn from the glamorous world that once celebrated her, yet also drained her youth. No longer surrounded by headlines or tragic roles, she has found a sense of peace within her solitude. Tuesday Weld does not seem to need the world to remember her as a dazzling star. Perhaps all she has ever truly needed is the freedom to simply be herself, a soul that has weathered every storm and, at last, found refuge among the quiet, windswept hills. 8. Liv Ullmann, the Nordic Muse. Liv Ullmann is not merely an actress. She is the embodiment of intellectual beauty and a quiet, commanding presence in world cinema. Unlike the flamboyant glamour often associated with Hollywood, her beauty carries the essence of the Nordic spirit, clear and profound like frozen lakes, yet harboring an intense inner strength. She is best known as both the muse and lifelong artistic companion of legendary director Ingmar Bergman. Together, they created timeless masterpieces such as Persona and Scenes from a Marriage, where Ullmann used her deeply expressive face to explore the most intricate and painful dimensions of the human soul. Throughout the 1970s, Liv Ullmann played a defining role in shaping European art house cinema. Audiences were captivated not only by her masterful performances, but also by the raw honesty she brought to every role. She never feared revealing wrinkles, tears, or vulnerability, because for Liv, art is the most truthful reflection of life itself. This philosophy elevated her into one of the most respected artists of all time, a woman whose beauty is inseparable from her profound intellectual depth. As of 2026, at the age of 87, Liv Ullmann has returned to her homeland of Norway to embrace a quieter chapter of life. Yet her passion for meaningful contribution has never diminished. After stepping away from the screen, she has devoted much of her time and influence to humanitarian work as a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF. Traveling across the world, she has used her voice to advocate for the vulnerable, transforming her fame into a force for positive change. Even in her later years, she radiates a rare elegance and clarity of mind, an enduring beauty shaped by a lifetime spent in pursuit of truth, both in art and in the human experience. 9. Barbara Hershey, the icon of the hippie era. During the vibrant and turbulent years of the 1970s, Barbara Hershey was more than just an actress. She was the living embodiment of the free-spirited, unconventional ethos of the hippie movement. With her natural, untamed beauty and a personality that leaned toward quiet rebellion, she was often labeled eccentric by critics and the public alike. The most striking example came when she chose to change her professional name to Seagull after the death of a bird on set, a gesture that revealed her emotional sensitivity, yet also led Hollywood to question her professionalism. But Barbara Hershey did not respond with words. She let her talent speak for itself. Entering the 1980s, she staged a remarkable comeback that shattered every preconceived notion about her so-called eccentricity. With 2 consecutive Best Actress awards at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, she secured her place among the greats of cinematic performance. She proved that a woman's beauty lies not in conforming to societal expectations, but in the depth of her inner world and her ability to inhabit complex, multifaceted characters with extraordinary authenticity. One of Barbara Hershey's most courageous choices was her firm refusal to undergo cosmetic surgery. In an industry often obsessed with preserving youth through artificial means, she chose instead to honor every wrinkle and every mark left by time. To her, each line on her face is a chapter, a living record of the experiences and emotions that have shaped her journey. As of 2026, at the age of 78, Barbara Hershey continues to carry herself with quiet confidence and an unmistakable allure. She does not seek constant visibility, instead carefully selecting roles that offer depth and meaning. Her career stands as a powerful testament to self-respect, that one may begin as an outsider, even an eccentric, but with conviction and talent, can ultimately become an enduring symbol of authenticity. 10. Jodie Foster, the beauty of intellect and self-mastery. Jodie Foster stands as a singular phenomenon in world cinema, a woman who has proven that intelligence is the most enduring and powerful form of beauty. Entering the entertainment industry as a child, she stunned global audiences and sparked intense controversy with her portrayal of Iris in the landmark film Taxi Driver at just 12 years old. Amid conflicting public reactions and relentless media scrutiny, Jodie did not falter or lose herself. Instead, she quickly learned to transform her beauty and fame into a form of armor, an intelligent barrier that protected her privacy and preserved her absolute autonomy, within a treacherous Hollywood landscape. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Jodie Foster's path has not been paved with scandal or attempts to cling to fame through appearance alone. She chose instead to cultivate her intellect at Yale University, using intellectual depth to shape her artistic identity. From the sharp, composed intensity of her role in The Silence of the Lambs to the complex psychological characters she later embodied, Jodie has consistently projected a presence defined by calm confidence and quiet authority. For her, beauty is merely a vehicle, while intellect and inner strength are what enable an artist to endure the storms of time. As of 2026, at the age of 63, Jodie Foster remains at the pinnacle of her craft, recognized as one of the most influential figures in Hollywood. Beyond her acclaimed acting career and prestigious awards, she has firmly established herself as a visionary director and producer. Living a life that is both private and profoundly impactful, she continues to inspire new generations of artists, demonstrating how one can shine brilliantly while maintaining dignity and self-determination. Jodie Foster is the ultimate testament to the idea that true beauty flourishes when guided by a disciplined mind and an unwavering heart. 11. Meryl Streep, the unrivaled pinnacle. Meryl Streep arrived in Hollywood in the late 1970s not as a rising star seeking opportunity, but as a definitive statement, a powerful verdict on what true talent truly means. In an industry long obsessed with conventional beauty and ever-changing fashion trends, Meryl chose a different path. She did not chase glamorous gowns or fleeting standards of attractiveness. Instead, she used her refined yet resolute face as a blank canvas, upon which she painted hundreds of distinct lives with a transformative ability so extraordinary that critics could only describe it with one word: astonishing. Every role Meryl Streep undertakes is a complete metamorphosis, from voice and physicality to the deepest layers of emotional presence. She can become a mother torn apart by impossible choices, an iron-willed prime minister, or a commanding fashion editor who inspires both fear and admiration. Her unwavering dedication to her craft has elevated her into a gold standard, an artistic benchmark to which every actor aspires. For Meryl, true beauty does not lie in flawless appearance, but in the vitality and authenticity she breathes into every character. As of 2026, at the age of 76, Meryl Streep still stands firmly at the summit, unmatched and irreplaceable. Holding an unprecedented record of 21 Academy Award nominations, she is not only a living legend, but also an enduring symbol of relentless artistic discipline. Even in her later years, she continues to work tirelessly on set, constantly challenging herself with new and demanding roles. Meryl Streep is the clearest proof that when talent reaches its highest form, time is no longer an adversary. It becomes a catalyst, enriching both the beauty and the legacy of the artist. 12. Brooke Shields, a beauty commercialized too soon. In 1980, Brooke Shields was celebrated as the most beautiful face in America, an icon of beauty defined by her signature thick eyebrows and mesmerizing deep blue eyes. Yet behind that radiant, era-defining appearance lay a deeply troubling truth. Her beauty had been transformed into a lucrative commodity by both her own mother and the entertainment industry from the time she was just an infant. Brooke was never given the chance to grow up normally. Her life was quickly engulfed by flashing cameras, controversial advertising contracts, and provocative roles long before she reached adulthood. She was like a flower forced to bloom in the midst of a storm, her beauty relentlessly exploited to serve the ambitions and commercial interests of others. Living under the strict control of her mother, who also acted as her manager, Brooke Shields endured a long and painful journey to reclaim her identity. She fought fiercely to break free from the label of a living doll and to prove that behind the flawless face was a woman of intelligence and independent spirit. Her decision to step away from her career and pursue an education at Princeton University marked a pivotal turning point, her first decisive step toward reclaiming control over her own life. It was a powerful declaration that she was not merely a product of commercial machinery. By 2026, at the age of 60, Brooke Shields has fully transformed into a model of strength, autonomy, and empowerment. No longer a victim of the entertainment industry, she is now a successful entrepreneur, building her own brands and securing a respected position in society. More importantly, she has become a leading and influential voice in advocating against the exploitation and abuse of children within the industry. Brooke has turned the scars of her past into a shield for future generations, transforming a once exploited beauty into a powerful symbol of resilience, dignity, and compassion. 13. Katharine Ross, the dream girl of the Woodstock generation. Katharine Ross was more than just an actress. She became a symbol of the free-spirited ethos and pure, natural beauty that defined the Woodstock generation of the late 1960s. With her unforgettable portrayal of Elaine Robinson in the cinematic masterpiece The Graduate, she instantly rose to become the dream girl of millions of young souls yearning for change. Her beauty did not rely on elaborate makeup or glamorous fashion. It radiated from her authenticity, a touch of quiet defiance, and an effortless presence. Her gentle yet resolute gaze captured the very essence of a transformative era, one in which old conventions were being challenged by a deep desire to love freely and live truthfully. Amid the glittering yet often fragile world of Hollywood relationships, Katharine Ross's personal life reads like a love story of rare and enduring beauty. She found her lasting haven alongside Sam Elliott, the iconic actor known for his warm, resonant voice and rugged charm. Married since 1984, their union has withstood the test of more than 4 decades, standing as one of the few enduring symbols of loyalty and lasting connection in the film industry. Their shared values, emotional harmony, and preference for a grounded, simple life have allowed their love to flourish despite the noise and pressures of fame. By 2026, at the age of 86, Katharine Ross has fully stepped away from the spotlight, embracing a peaceful retirement in the breezy coastal haven of Malibu. Free from the demands of the stage and screen, she now spends her days in quiet contentment with her family, surrounded by the soothing rhythm of ocean waves and golden sunlight. Though time has passed, the image of that brown-haired young woman with her luminous, natural beauty remains forever vivid in the hearts of audiences. Katharine Ross stands as a testament to the idea that a woman can rise to dazzling heights of fame and, in time, gently transition into a life of serenity, grace, and fulfillment. 14. Joan Collins. Beauty is a decision. Joan Collins is more than a screen legend. She is an enduring symbol of resilience, self-respect, and the unapologetic strength of womanhood. In the unforgiving world of Hollywood, where women are often deemed past their prime after the age of 40, Joan defied that narrative in spectacular fashion. Before her triumphant return in 1981, her career had entered a prolonged lull, seemingly fading into obscurity. Yet with her iconic portrayal of Alexis Carrington in the hit television phenomenon Dynasty, she staged one of the most remarkable comebacks in entertainment history. Alexis was not merely a character. She was the embodiment of power, allure, and razor-sharp intelligence, transforming Joan Collins into a woman both admired and feared across the globe. Joan Collins has always embraced a clear and unwavering philosophy. Beauty is not a random gift bestowed by fate, but a conscious decision sustained through discipline and effort. She has never allowed herself to appear in public in anything less than her best. For her, self-care, physical fitness, and the maintenance of elegance are not superficial concerns. They are declarations of autonomy. With unwavering discipline and a passionate zest for life, she challenges the very notion of aging, proving that a woman can radiate brilliance at any stage of life if she chooses to honor and care for herself. By 2026, at the age of 92, Joan Collins continues to command admiration from around the world. She still graces red carpet events adorned in dazzling gowns, her complexion radiant, her presence regal and commanding. No longer a star seeking validation, She has become a source of inspiration for millions of women striving to take control of their own narrative. Joan Collins stands as living proof of a powerful truth. Age is merely a number on paper, but beauty, vitality, and charisma are choices, ones that remain firmly within your grasp for as long as you dare to claim them. 15. Diane Keaton, a fashion revolutionary. Diane Keaton is not only an Academy Award-winning actress, she is a true innovator who reshaped the image of women in popular culture. At a time when Hollywood idolized form-fitting dresses and conventional sensual beauty, Diane emerged and redefined elegance through an entirely different lens. With her signature turtlenecks, wide-leg trousers, ties, and brimmed hats, elements traditionally associated with menswear, she sparked a stylistic revolution through her iconic role in Annie Hall. This was more than fashion. It was a declaration of freedom, intellect, and the dismantling of gender norms. Her androgynous style has since become a timeless legacy, an enduring source of inspiration that women around the world continue to embrace and reinterpret to this day. What makes Diane Keaton so captivating is that she has never tried to conform to anyone else's definition of beauty. Her allure lies in her intelligence, a touch of charming awkwardness, and an unshakable confidence in her own identity. Rather than chasing trends or the illusion of eternal youth, she transformed her distinctive aesthetic into a signature that is entirely her own. For Diane, clothing is an extension of the mind, and the way she wears it conveys a sense of intellectual elegance and quiet defiance. By 2026, at the age of 80, Diane Keaton remains a singular fashion icon, unmatched in her originality. Beyond acting, she has also established herself as a talented photographer and a passionate architectural preservationist. She devotes much of her time to restoring and protecting historic homes, much like she has preserved and evolved her personal style over the decades. Diane Keaton stands as living proof that when you dare to be yourself and continue to create without compromise, time can never diminish your influence or the distinct beauty that defines you. 16. Ali MacGraw, the pain behind fame. Ali MacGraw was one of the most radiant cultural phenomena of the 1970s, a beauty that embodied natural elegance, intellect, and the refined spirit of American high society. With the iconic film Love Story, she not only earned an Academy Award nomination but also became the most desired woman in America, a fashion icon defined by her deep brown eyes and luminous smile. Yet the greatest tragedy of her life began when she met and fell deeply in love with Steve McQueen, the legendary king of cool. Driven by a passionate and consuming love, Ali made the life-altering decision to step away from the peak of her career at his insistence, choosing instead to become a devoted housewife, a choice she would later admit cost her a profound part of her own identity. Her years with Steve McQueen were far from a fairy tale. They were marked by emotional turbulence, control, and deep personal fractures. After the collapse of their marriage, Ali MacGraw faced a long and difficult journey to rediscover herself amid the ruins of fame and lost faith. With remarkable courage, she confronted her inner struggles, seeking treatment for alcoholism and turning to philosophy and yoga in her search for peace. Rather than clinging desperately to past glory, she chose a path of authenticity, embracing her wounds and learning to heal them in quiet resilience. She passed away on January 18, 2024, at the age of 84, in the peaceful sanctuary of her home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Her passing marked a somber, yet serene conclusion to a life that had tasted both the sweetness and bitterness of fame. Ali MacGraw leaves behind not only a legacy of timeless performances, but also a powerful lesson about the cost of sacrifice and love, and the extraordinary strength required to rise again from one's own mistakes. To the very end, she remained a muse in the eyes of the public, but one who had overcome her inner darkness to finally find the light of freedom. 17. Jaclyn Smith, Everyone's Angel. Among the legendary trio of Charlie's Angels, Jaclyn Smith was more than just a beautiful face. She became a symbol of endurance and unwavering dedication to her craft. Amid constant cast changes throughout the production, Jacqueline stood as the only angel who remained for all 5 seasons, from the very first episode to the series finale. Her appeal did not stem from the distant glamour of a typical star, but from a uniquely relatable beauty, highly marketable, yet warmly accessible. With her delicate features, voluminous hair, and radiant smile, she gave audiences a sense of comfort, like a trusted friend or a beloved sister. It was this perfect blend of elegance and kindness that made her the most cherished figure in the hearts of American audiences during the 1970s. Beyond the spotlight of acting, Jacqueline Smith proved herself a visionary pioneer in transforming fame into a thriving business empire. She was among the first Hollywood stars to boldly launch her own lines of fashion and home furnishings under her name. Rather than serving merely as a brand ambassador, she took an active role in design and management, bringing stylish yet affordable products to millions of women. This forward-thinking approach allowed her to build a stable, independent career, one that remained resilient despite the ever-changing tides of the entertainment industry. By 2026, at the age of 80, Jacqueline Smith continues to embody the timeless truth that beauty knows no age. She still appears with remarkable poise, radiant skin, and an effortlessly refined sense of style. While she has stepped back from acting, she now devotes her energy to managing her successful business ventures and supporting charitable causes, particularly breast cancer awareness, a cause close to her heart as a survivor herself. Jacqueline Smith is not only an angel on screen. In many ways, she has become one in real life, defined by her resilience, intelligence, and enduring compassion. 18. Catherine Deneuve, the icon of French beauty. If Italy proudly claims Sophia Loren, then France has long regarded Catherine Deneuve as a national treasure, the most vivid embodiment of French beauty, elegant, aristocratic, and enigmatic. Often described as the muse of cool detachment, Deneuve's beauty does not invite casual admiration. It commands reverent distance, like a sculpture carved from crystal, so flawless it inspires quiet awe. She is not merely an actress. She is the living image of Marianne, the symbolic figure of liberty and reason in France, immortalized on postage stamps and public monuments. Her career is deeply intertwined with the masterpieces of the French New Wave, where her distant gaze and composed presence reveal the most intricate layers of a woman's inner world. Catherine Deneuve's allure lies in her uncompromising devotion to aesthetic perfection. She was the muse and confidant of legendary designer Yves Saint Laurent, who transformed her into a global fashion icon with a style that is both refined and timeless. Even at the height of her fame, Deneuve never allowed herself to become ordinary. She has always maintained a fiercely private life, guarding her mystery as carefully as she has preserved her artistic integrity for more than half a century. For her, acting is not simply a profession. It is a way of existence, a means of asserting a strong and enduring identity against the relentless passage of time. By 2026, at the age of 82, the First Lady of French cinema remains a resilient and graceful presence in the heart of Paris. After fully recovering from a stroke in 2019, she returned with remarkable strength, continuing to appear in select film projects and as an honored guest at major international film festivals. Her presence in her later years stands as a testament to the truth that while physical beauty may evolve with time, the aura and stature of a cultural icon are eternal. Catherine Deneuve endures, an embodiment of a classic, proud, and unyielding France. 19. Faye Dunaway, beauty and relentless intensity. Faye Dunaway is not a gentle rose to be admired in quiet serenity. She is an artistic storm with formidable force. With her striking bone structure, high, razor-sharp cheekbones, and a gaze that cuts with icy precision, Faye represents a new archetype of beauty in Hollywood, intelligent, dangerous, and fiercely ambitious. She has never settled for forgettable roles. Instead, every time she appears on screen, she commands it entirely, radiating a presence so powerful it can seemingly freeze a room. From the reckless, free-spirited outlaw in Bonnie and Clyde to the cold, ruthless television executive in Network, Faye redefined what power looks like for women in cinema. Her intensity extends far beyond her performances into her real-life persona. Faye Dunaway is renowned for her uncompromising perfectionism, often engaging in fierce debates with even the most celebrated directors to protect the integrity and depth of her characters. This formidable and sometimes abrasive personality has made her a singular phenomenon, an artist who refuses to blend into the crowd. For Faye, beauty is not meant to please the masses. It is a weapon, a means to express raw emotion and explore the darkest, most complex corners of the human psyche. By 2026, at the age of 85, Faye Dunaway has chosen a life of seclusion, far removed from the noise of media and public scrutiny in New York. Though she no longer stands under the spotlight, her legacy endures as towering monuments in the history of cinema. Iconic films like Chinatown and Network continue to be studied by younger generations of actors as masterclasses in transformation and performance. Faye Dunaway remains, in the collective memory of cinephiles, a timeless testament to this truth. Intensity and intellect are forms of beauty that time can never erode. They only grow sharper, more formidable, and more revered with age. 20. Julie Christie, the woman who refused the spotlight. If one face could embody the spirit of freedom and effortless beauty of the 1970s, it would undoubtedly be Julie Christie. With her naturally tousled blonde hair, as if shaped by the wind itself, her deep, contemplative blue eyes, and her ethereal elegance, she became the muse of an entire generation. Julie was not merely an Oscar-winning actress. She was the quiet rebellion against Hollywood's rigid standards of beauty. Audiences were captivated by her performances in masterpieces like Dr. Zhivago and Darling. Yet what made Julie Christie truly extraordinary was her proud and deliberate absence from the very heart of the film industry. At the height of her fame, when the world seemed ready to lay itself at her feet, Julie Christie made a shocking decision. She walked away from Hollywood. She openly admitted her distrust of the artificial glamour, her disinterest in lavish parties, and her rejection of relentless media scrutiny. For Julie, art was something to be lived, not performed for power or validation. She chose instead to retreat to the quiet countryside, turning down countless blockbuster roles in favor of a life grounded in authenticity, one where she could read, garden, and advocate for the political causes she deeply believed in. As of 2026, at the age of 85, Julie Christie remains steadfast in that choice, living a peaceful life on a tranquil farm in Wales. She has become a beautiful and enigmatic ghost of the entertainment world, absent from social media, avoiding interviews, and entirely uninterested in clinging to youth or fame. Her silence is not an act of retreat, but a powerful declaration of independence. Julie Christie has proven that the most radiant beauty is the beauty of a free soul, and that the greatest triumph is not to be known by the world, but to have the courage to turn away from it and live life entirely on one's own terms. Conclusion: Timeless Roses. Looking back on the journeys of these 20 legendary beauties, we arrive at a deeply reflective truth. As of 2026, 18 of them are still continuing to write the story of their lives. Their existence is far more than a collection of films or radiant images. It is an epic of resilience, strength, and self-mastery. Beauty, no matter how dazzling, has never been the entirety of who they are. It is like a luminous doorway that opened onto golden opportunities, yet at the same time, it served as a relentless trial, one that demanded the price of privacy, pain, and personal sacrifice in order to pass through. Some used their beauty as armor to protect their intellect, while others courageously shed it in pursuit of true freedom in the quiet solitude of the countryside. Some transformed their fame into a force for preserving life on this planet, while others endured heartbreak when their beauty was commercialized far too early. Whether they chose to confront time through disciplined elegance or through a life of quiet retreat, all of them have proven one essential truth. The value of a woman is not measured by the number of lines upon her face, but by the depth of her experiences and the magnitude of the soul she has so carefully cultivated. They stand as the most vivid embodiment of what it means to age gracefully. When the brilliance of youth fades into the distance, what remains is presence, wisdom, and cultural legacies that cannot be erased. 20 women, 20 distinct destinies, yet all converging on a single truth. They did not allow beauty to define them. Instead, they used their extraordinary lives to redefine what eternal beauty truly means. In the end, beauty is only the beginning. Character is what transforms them into timeless icons in the hearts of generations.